How's it going, everyone? In this video, I'm going to be talking about ways to make passive income as a graphic designer. Everyone could benefit from a little side cash, so I thought why not give a little bit of insight on the topic. First thing, I just want to preface this by saying nothing is completely passive because everything takes some kind of work to do the startup and work to maintain it along the way. But with that being said, let's get into it. So the first side hustle I want to talk about is selling prints. This is a popular one in the design community, and for good reason. There are also different levels of passiveness to this endeavor and two different avenues I've seen you can go down. So the first option, and what I've seen most people do, is print on demand or drop shipping. Basically, you have an online store, you set that up, you upload the artwork, and you market it to your audience. Once the print is purchased, the fulfillment company does all the work, shipping, packing it, and all that, and then they send it to the customer and give you a cut. This is a very hands-off approach to selling prints because all you really have to do is design the artwork, upload the file to the site, and when people purchase it, the rest of the work is done by the company. Ways you can do this are setting up a Shopify store and then using a print-on-demand integration like Prodigy or Printful. Another way is to go directly to a site that does art e-commerce like Artist Sourced or Society6. There's also a bunch of other options if you search online with varying different commission rates. I really recommend this option for anyone shipping internationally or anyone who doesn't have the resources to hold products at their house or print, pack, and ship them themselves. Option 2 is the exact opposite of that: produce, packaging, and shipping your own prints. In one of my last videos, people kept asking me about the process on this, and I wanted to make an in-depth video about how to set up a print store and selling prints, so comment below if you want that. Anyway, so for this, what I do personally is I get my artwork ready, I print them using a friend's printer, I figure out all the desired sizes, have my website set up, and I ship them out. A tip I've learned with this option and a way to keep costs down is only print orders as they come in. It lengthens your fulfillment time a little bit, but it helps with not having unnecessary overhead and spending a lot of money up front. I really like this strategy over the print on demand if you're able to do it because I hand sign all my prints. It has a more personal touch to it, and I can ensure the quality of the artwork comes out good and the prints are safely shipped when I send them from my apartment. However, to ensure this level of quality control, you do give up a lot more of the passiveness, having to pack, ship, and go to the post office. In my case though, I think it's well worth it, and I think it's something to consider if you have the means to do it. So this next one, I'm sure you've bought in some yourself or know people who sell them, and it's selling digital assets. This is a go-to passive income source for a lot of creatives I see online. You have everything from selling textures on the side on a site like Creative Market to people who have made this all the way into a full business, someone like Black Market or True Grit Texture Supply. Selling digital goods is a great way to make side money with very little startup costs. All you really need to invest in is a website and whatever resources you need to create the digital products. Similar to selling prints, there are two avenues you can take here. Option 1 is selling through a digital goods site. This is a safe strategy, but overall kind of a flooded market. You can use sites like Gumroad or Creative Market to name a few. How this process works is, let's say you create an asset pack of icons, some textures, mock-ups, a new typeface. All you do is upload your products to the site, and then when people discover and purchase your products, you get a cut, and so does the company. This can be a very easy and safe way to make some side cash. However, like I said, it is a pretty flooded market, so you do need a good product because these sites are already filled with every photocopy texture or grunge asset pack you can think of. If you want to be a little bit more hands-on, then option 2 is for you. This approach requires taking the products you create and turning it into an online store like Black Market, for example. The hardest challenge with this approach really is having a good website, overall good marketing, and discovering a niche that hasn't been oversaturated. Overall though, if you have a good idea, know how to do some good marketing online, selling digital goods can be very successful. Patreon is probably my favorite side hustle for myself as a graphic designer. I know it's a little bit more on the content creation side of things, but I think it can work for all kinds of graphic designers and other types of creatives. If you don't know about Patreon, it's basically a site where people pay you a monthly pledge to become a patron, and you can upload exclusive content just for them. I like Patreon because not only is it a decent side hustle, but it allows you to further connect with your audience and for people to pay you for valuable or entertaining content. If you have a specific style or something you think you can offer and are interested, you can start a Patreon and offer exclusive tutorials, or you can give patrons access to digital goods they can't get anywhere else. There are plenty of other things you can do as well: live streams, chats with your fans, community voting, and things like that. I think it's an amazing platform, honestly, and it was created by a cool guy named Jack Conte who had the benefits of the creator in mind. I personally use it to give you all access to bonus podcast stuff, wallpapers, high-res versions of my work, source project files, and more. The biggest disadvantage to Patreon is you probably have to have at least a small audience on another platform to be able to migrate those to Patreon. If you do have a following though on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, or any other social site really, I do recommend you figuring out how you can get paid for all your hard work and offer some awesome stuff on Patreon. This next one is online courses. As a designer, we all have skills that other designers want to learn. Some of these things are more in depth and aren't well suited for short form content or things that are super fast to digest. So for that reason, I still think creating tutorials online or online courses is a great idea. You can use sites like Creative Fabrica or Skillshare to create more in-depth online classes. I've seen a lot of designers succeed with sites like Skillshare. It does have a lot of upfront work though, however, with recording the videos, editing, and marketing. However, if the online course is quality, it'll live on those sites for a long time and it will make you money over time as you sleep. If you have a specific style or some kind of valuable information that you think would benefit from a more long-term class, I definitely recommend checking out something like Skillshare. Last but not least is YouTube. My favorite side hustle is definitely YouTube. You can create free YouTube tutorials and videos like I do. However, I definitely want to preface this by saying you most likely won't make money for a while until you grow your audience. That's how it was for me at least. I do believe though that YouTube is still one of the best things you can do online for long-term growth and stability. The growth does start to compound over time though, and I personally think by the end of this year, I'll have a decent chunk of side cash from YouTube content creation. I also have recently gotten enough subscribers to kind of entertain brand partnerships and sponsorships, which is nice because it's another little side of cash as well as it helps fund future videos. I think it's good when you start making money on a site like YouTube to put money back into it, buy better things to further continue the long-term growth instead of taking the short-term profits. Like I said before though, YouTube is probably one of the least passive ideas on this list. It does take a lot of work and you need to maintain it to see continued growth. However, it is super rewarding and it's awesome to connect with you all, and once you start having a backlog of content, all the ad revenue over time from those videos is basically passive income. I hope this information was helpful to you. If it was, do me a huge favor and hit that like button. If you want to support one of my side hustles, check the description for links to my print store and the Patreon. That's it for now. Thank you for watching and I'll see you next time. Peace.